whoever wins doesn't get to ride home with 2 bricks in their bag.
And let's keep in mind here, this 2 bricks.
2 normal household, standard Australian normal bricks.
And I have an 80-kilometer ride home, and you have...
Mine's about 6.
Yeah, so hopefully I don't lose.
What an easy win. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, here it is. Welcome to the Bike Shed, where we talk about everything from how-tos to bike reviews and absurd challenges. I'm here with Peter.
We're just cleaning off a couple of the bricks that Devon's going to be taking. Get rid of the ants, but look, they look good enough.
What do you think? Leave a comment down below and tell us if this is good enough. So I'm going to load this into my bag, and then I'll tune back in when we're at the ferry. See you soon. Well, first up the hill with the bricks and the bag. Well, we've made it. Got the bricks in the back.
Sun's up though.
The sun's out.
Sun's out.
We got Scott with us.
Scott's joined. Dolphins on the way to work.
How good is that?
How good is this? Oh, that view. Welcome back to the Bike Shed, the place where we talk about everything from how-tos to bike reviews. I'm super stoked to be back because Peter was gone. He left me, and it was a bit hard. I didn't know what I was going to do with myself, and now he's back.
Good to be back.
And how is Indonesia?
Extremely busy. So a lot of work to do. It wasn't a holiday. Everyone in the office keeps telling me it was a holiday, but I don't think so. But yeah, now I'm back in the office, back in the Bike Shed. We're doing road bikes this week.
We are. My favorite. I've been looking forward to this for a long time.
Nice and clean.
Exactly. And today we are talking about the Polygon Strattos. We're looking at the low-end, mid, and high-end bikes. What's the difference between them, how to get started, and the essentials you'll need when getting your first road bike. Potentially.
Yeah, Strattos is one of the road bike models that Polygon does that ranges from entry-level alloy rim brake up to top of the range, carbon frame, disc brakes, everything.
I'm excited. I'm really excited, so let's get into it.
A few key features, essentials that we think you're going to need. Most people you see at cafes are walking around like penguins, and that's because they're wearing these silly shoes. I also wear them when I need to, but they just give your foot a lot of support. You've got this special cleat system on the bottom. You might have heard people clipping in when they start taking off on a road bike. These are the kind of shoes that people are wearing to get extra power out of your pedal stroke, but also a lot of comfort for your joints. So if you're riding a long distance, you don't want to be moving your feet around, you might have bad knees. Fixing them and keeping them comfortable is what a shoe would do. What kind of shoes do you have? Do you have something similar to these kind of cleats?
I don't. Looking at the shoe, the first thing I look at is, does it have a carbon insole?
Carbon sole.
A carbon sole, and the reason being is because you want to limit the flex, because that's going to create optimal power transfer. And as you know in the previous videos, I'm not even going to say it. It's all about the watts per kilo, right? So if you want to optimize your watts, you want a good carbon insole. Next would be either BOA dials. So little dials you've probably seen where you crank it up. There could be 2, there could be a 3, or laces. And laces are coming back in.
Yeah, very cool. Trendy.
Really cool, really
easy,
trendy.
Just like a normal shoe.
And that's it, right? So it looks really good. And that's pretty much what I look for in a shoe. Something that's comfortable as well. So one thing you'll notice is the toe box. If you have really narrow feet, you want to avoid shoes.
guy.
Yeah, so this right here. You want to avoid something that's really, really narrow, and you want it to be wider, right? So I have large feet, so I like a wider toe box. Entity makes really nice looking shoe.
Stiff.
It is stiff, really stiff, and it looks really good. I'm a fan of the
Clean
matte
and
black.
simple.
Clean, simple, nice.
Great entry level shoe.
It is. And next, you have bibs.
Bibs.
I would say these are one of the
Number
most number one. Reason
one.
being is if you're going to jump on a bike, last thing you want is a chamois that is uncomfortable. When I'm talking about chamois,
Well, I think if
talking
you're
about
just
this.
getting a road bike and you don't know that you need something special and weird that looks like this, you do need it. 100% you need it. Because if you get on a road bike without something like this, you will have a sore butt in half an hour, 20 minutes.
yeah,
Easy.
and a good chamois makes a big difference. So again, this is the chamois. You get something high quality, and sometimes, and especially nowadays with gravel or long endurance events, you have these pockets on the side, right? And you can put your Cliff Bars, or like last time, avocados you were mentioning you don't bring.
Avocados could go in there.
You could put an avocado in here. Quite a big
Bananas are
avocado.
good.
Yeah.
Phone if you want to do
Yeah, phone.
Insta on the run.
Yeah, and that's
on
a
the
big
ride,
thing these
yeah.
days. Right?
But something good to know is you might be wondering where your underwear goes, and it doesn't. So this is without underwear. If you see someone riding around with underwear while they're wearing these bibs, they're doing it wrong. So you just have raw skin on the chamois on the inside, and that way nothing moves around. So when you're riding on a road bike, you want everything to be fixed, stable, and supported. If you have movement anywhere with your skin, that's where you get rashes, it's going to be uncomfortable. So don't be alarmed if someone tells you you don't need underwear. That is correct. Nothing underneath.
yeah, no underwear, but you will need chamois cream. Well, you don't need it. Some people
people,
get away with
yeah.
it, right? But chamois cream, it's like a shea butter, something that kind of soothes the skin so you don't have any irritation, and you put that in the parts of the unknown.
Do you put it on yourself or on the bib?
Oh,
It's
that's a good question.
controversial.
I put it on myself.
On you? Me as well. Yeah, a lot of people don't. A lot of people put it in the bib.
Yeah.
But I find that kind of fills up the foam with the cream.
Yeah.
And then you might need to throw your bibs away after 2 years or so.
You might have convinced me, but I don't know, But yeah, you definitely need a good
Bibs
pair
are
of bibs.
essential.
Essential. Next, you have a helmet, and I can't stress this enough. I had a really bad accident where I came down on a cane train line and collapsed my helmet. And if it weren't for the helmet, I probably wouldn't be around. So
Type
get
of
yourself
helmet,
a really high quality helmet, and especially the type. No peak, Peter.
No peak.
No peak.
Yeah. Road cycling is all about kind of smooth and clean, no extra bits anywhere.
Yeah.
That's why these are skin tight. Helmet also you want smooth, small, no peak on the front.
Yeah.
Often you'll be wearing sunglasses or some kind of protection for your eyes against the wind, and that does the job of keeping sun out of your eyes. So your road biking helmet will just be a dome over your head, does the protection. Good ventilation is also important,
that's a big
especially
thing.
in Australia where we are, but where you are, you might want to look at having a hat underneath if you want that extra layer of warmth. But no peak on a helmet is normal for road cycling. Also makes it very simple and
Yeah, you want something simple, something sleek, has good ventilation, and you, again, always want to wear it for safety reasons. One thing I want to know, you did mention you want to be sleek and you want to be aerodynamic.
Yes.
A big misconception is that roadies shave their legs because they want to go faster. That is a myth, okay? They do it because if you do fall off and you get road rash, the chance of infection is a lot less, and it's easier to put on sunscreen.
easier
Right.
to put on sun cream, yeah.
Yeah,
When you
so-
fall, you get a scab, it's easier to clean.
Yes.
That's partially why you wear Lycra, because you're probably going to fall down and you don't want lots of big baggy material all over you. So if you have this with a scab underneath, it's quite comfortable rather than a loose short or pants or something rubbing against you.
Yeah. So that is a myth debunked.
It's for when you fall off a road bike,
Yes. Not if.
not if. It's when.
It's when. And next you have a good set of pedals. right? So there's two different types of pedals. One, you'd have flats, right? So something you're not going to
Flat
clip
pedals,
into.
something that might come originally with the bike. You have just a set of pedals to get you going, which is, it's always handy to have around. But pretty quickly, you'd probably want to move to a clip-in style shoe and pedal. And that's where these plus a shoe would come in. Different types, but road cycling, you have a cleat and clip-in mechanism only on one side. Mountain biking is usually on both. Road cycling is one side because they want to give you a nice big wide clip-in interface. So on a mountain bike, your shoe moves around a bit more. Road cycling, bigger cleat, a lot more fixed.
Yeah.
You're usually on a smooth road or your corners are quite well known. It's no roots and bumps, so being fixed is good, keeps you stable. These kind of pedals are going to do that. So something with a big wide platform with a wide cleat.
Yeah, and a lot of the times with the cleats, you have 0 float, right? Meaning you can't move. Then you have 4, 6. It all depends on the brand, but that gives you a bit more play with the shoe, just so you feel more comfortable and you can always clip out. But that we'll save that for a later video explaining that.
Yeah, but clip-in pedals are a good thing.
And next you have tires. You ain't going anywhere without a set of tires, right? Typically, road bikes run 25s. That's pretty standard. 28.
I'd say not anymore.
Not anymore?
No, 28 is standard.
28s?
So all of our Strattos bikes have 28s.
Oh.
So wider tire, bit more volume, bit more comfort. It's been proven in World Tour level they're riding bigger tires, so comfort is appreciated. If you do get a flat tire, often on a brand new bike from the factory, that could be something to do with maybe cost savings in a certain place or availability of higher end tires. So if you find that your bike's a bit old, maybe it's 4 or 5 years old, you haven't really changed the tires, the rubber dries out. So changing tires is not necessarily when you get a lot of holes, it can be just for the quality. So quality of rubber makes a big difference, how a tire feels, how your grip is, whether you fall off or not, and if you get punctures too.
Yeah, and if you're looking at tires, you also know they have a little wear gauge, which is usually an indent on the tire,
dots,
a little dot, and if that obviously is surface and you can no longer see it, then it's time to get a new set of tires.
Yeah.
So with that being said, these are the road essentials, right?
Essentials for beginners,
yep.
essentials for people that maybe have old gear, or people that want to try something different, like a Maxxis road tire,
Yep.
big in mountain biking, but not so well known in road. Worth looking into.
Yeah, and again, we're probably missing something, so if we are, let us know in the comments below. And we are going to move on
To the different bikes.
to the different bikes, and I'm excited. I feel like a kid on Christmas. I'm finally in my element, Peter.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. What one are we going to look at first?
We're going to look at entry level, rim brake, road bike, alloy frame. What people would say, I want to get into road cycling, I want to get a road bike, one of those bikes with curly handlebars,
Yeah?
then this would be the kind of bike.
All right, let's get into it.
This is our entry level Strattos road bike we're going to be looking at.
This is it. Where do we start?
Frame material.
All right, let's look at the
Always
frame
good.
material. The big thing with lower entry is you're going to get alloy frames, correct?
Good quality, alloy frame, strong, durable, lightweight for what it is.
Relative to carbon, it's going to be a bit heavier, right? So, going uphill, it's going to be a bit more difficult.
But it's what you get.
It is what you get.
Good value.
And actually, the difference between the low end and the high end in terms of weight isn't that much.
Not that much. You're more paying for features.
Yeah.
And we'll run through some of them. What are the key features that you see on this kind of bike?
First thing I look at is that you already said the frame, right? So at this price point, you're going to get an alloy frame. Second, you're going to look at the group set, right?
Gearing.
So gearing. A big thing here is it's a 10-speed.
10 on the back,
Yep, 10 on the back,
2 on the front.
2 in the front.
Shimano.
You do get the Shimano name. It is Tiagra. However, it does shift quite well, in my opinion.
I've always thought of Tiagra is what top of the range was 5 or 6 years ago in the way that it rides. So function-wise, very high level for a little bit of time ago.
Yeah.
Which means it's good. It's always going to work.
Yeah.
Really reliable, dependable. You can get spare parts, chains and cassettes. So these parts, when they do wear out, you can get replacements quite easily. 10-speed is a common amount of gears on a road bike.
And I think that's, you know, when you're getting a bike, you want something that's reliable. You want the Shimano name. And the weight's relatively the same to some capacity. You can upgrade it, right?
You can upgrade, yeah. You can. I mean, weight is pretty big in road bikes.
Yeah.
That's not a lie. It's
It
all
is,
about
yeah.
weight, usually for road bikes. This kind of bike, if you had it for a couple of years, you want to make it a bit better, maybe change the feel of the bike. You've already done the tires. Maybe you put some different bar tape on. Look at changing the wheels. You can make a big
Massive difference
to how a road bike rides with a different set of wheels. This being an entry-level bike, you've got plenty of spokes in the wheel, so strong, durable. When you're just starting out, you might hit a few bumps in the road, down some curbs. Good wheels will keep themselves straight for quite a long time. The rim's not too deep, so you get a bit of strength in there, having a really deep rim, not too noisy. So yeah, something that you would see on entry-level road bikes is heavier wheels, which you could upgrade.
And when we're talking about heavier, again, it's marginally. We're not talking about like a 1-ton truck or something
No.
where it's really heavy. And next, one thing I love, but Peter might not love, very controversial, right, is rim brakes, right?
Old school.
Old school rim brakes. And there's some pros and cons. The biggest
A lot
pro...
more cons, I think.
So I guess looking at the pros of rim brakes.
What are your pros?
Weight. But now disc brakes are getting a lot lighter. So I don't know about that one. I would say adjusting on the go is really easy. So if, for example, it's
easy to fix.
Easy to fix. You can always just literally sometimes move it with your hands and you don't, that's it, right? You adjust it a bit and then it's fine. The cons is, I'll leave it to you.
Power.
Yeah.
So less power through a rim brake because you're operating with two little rubber blocks on a very fast moving aluminium rim. The rim is harder than the rubber blocks. So you kind of get to this point where you can't really put any more effort in because the rim has so much power, it overcomes the rubber in your brake pads.
Yeah.
You're relying on a mechanical steel cable to make that actuation happen. On a higher end road bike, you might have hydraulic disc brakes, which is same as a mountain bike, also the same as your car. So same kind of idea of putting that force through to the disc or to a rim. You get more out of it with hydraulics than a steel cable. For me also is this steel cable goes bad, can rust.
Yeah.
And you might have to change that and get a new cable put in. If your outer cable splits, which can do, you might get rust in there. They might need changing. But for me, it's all about the power.
Yeah.
So not as good for doing skids, not as good for doing endos.
Yeah.
Hammering downhill.
Confidence. I think that's a big thing,
yeah,
is when you're in poor weather conditions, not like you want to ride in poor weather conditions, but if you are, because things happen and you like to get outside anyways, if it's raining, stopping, you're a lot more confident when you can stop in the rain, stop quickly when it comes to descending, which is
Rim
really
brakes
nice.
in the rain, you would pull them on full.
Yeah.
Nothing happens, nothing happens, and then they start to work.
Yeah, so that's not the great thing about them. Another is wheel set. When you start to really get into road cycling and you look at high-end wheels, we're talking expensive wheels, right? You will wear out the
rim is a wear item.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the brake track, you'll wear that out, and then your carbon wheels are essentially no good after a while, right? Whereas disc, that's not going to happen.
You can change a disc
Yeah.
irrespective of the wheel.
Perfect.
So
and that's
the
a lot
wheel
cheaper than...
is cheaper to keep your brakes working optimally compared to a rim.
Awesome. So yeah, with that bike, let's take this off and go one step up.
Yeah.
Right?
Next level up.
All right. All right, bike number 2. We are stepping up a bit. This bike still alloy frame.
Still alloy frame.
Still alloy frame.
No longer entry level.
No longer
I
entry
don't
level. I don't think as well. It has 105, and 105 is solid. to be
Shimano
honest,
105.
yeah. Still 10 speed? Still 10 speed
No,
cassette?
no, this is 11.
11.
So 105 functionally is meant to be the same as the top level. So the only changes between this and the top level is materials. But the way that it works and the way it functions is the same. So really good crisp shifting and good function.
Which is what you need. And
High
next
level.
thing, what I've noticed is, where's this? It's gone.
No more ring brakes.
No more rim brakes.
Yeah.
You have disc brakes. Right?
Common for the industry. Rim brakes are
Way in
pretty
the
much
past.
left to entry level stuff, basic stuff. Now everything's going disc, whether it's mechanical disc or hydraulic disc.
Yeah.
So there is a system that's in the middle. This is a hydraulic disc. So this would be pretty much standard for road bikes at the moment.
And tell me about these forks.
Carbon forks.
Carbon forks.
So all the Strattos models will have some carbon, whether that's the main center part of the blade here, or they'll be completely carbon. So a one-piece carbon fork in the higher end models. That's to give a little bit of vibration damping from the front wheel. So as you hit cracks or grooves in the road, a little bit of vibration comes through. What's not taken up by the tire and not taken up by the spokes will then be taken up by this carbon section inside the front fork, which is standard on all, let's say, branded, well-known road bikes. You'd want to see at least some carbon in the front fork, and they all the Strattos have it. So even the entry-level one is the same type of fork as this one, but this frame moves to different brakes and a different kind of groups.
Again, still crisp shifting.
Good shifting.
Right, you can feel confident when descending because you have the disc brakes.
Any weather.
Yep, any weather, and that's going to be the main differences between the two.
Different wheels.
Different wheels.
Yeah.
Yes,
different
that is.
Wheels.
And what's the difference? I guess.
Brake track is gone.
Yeah, the brake track's
which
gone.
means your rim only has one job now, which is to keep the tire inflated and keep the spokes tensioned. So you take away that job of stopping the bike. Doesn't have to worry about heat. Doesn't have to give extra material for wearing out. It's just about keeping the wheel round, tire inflated. And so you get a lighter weight rim. Less spokes as well here, because there's less forces going through this rim than the old rim with the rim brakes.
Yep.
So different wheels, a bit lighter. You start to see the entity branding on there.
Yeah.
So a good quality set of wheels, nice hubs on this bike. So branded, well-known hubs. You get to a more quality wheel set for sure.
So you're going to get a lighter bike. So crisper shifting, lighter bike. I think it's going to be more responsive as well.
Going up
right?
hills.
Going up hills.
You'd notice that.
And it's getting there.
Yeah.
I like this bike. Especially, the colorway, having that silver, white, you know how I am when it comes to the aesthetic appeal of bikes.
Road cyclists.
Yes,
You just
I think
put them all together.
That's it.
Aesthetics is everything.
Next, we'll move on to the high-end bike.
High-end.
The high-end Strattos.
Different materials.
Yeah, big difference. Big jump.
Big jump.
Big
enough.
jump. Yeah.
Big enough that it's different.
All right, let's get into it. All right, bike number 3, the last bike, the top end of the Strattos range. So what do you get with this bike?
Full carbon frame.
Full carbon frame.
So big plus point, tick point, what people look for in what might be known as a real road bike. I don't have a carbon frame road bike, but
I do.
Most people would think that's a pretty big, important thing. Tubes look a bit different. What do you think about the shaping of this kind of bike, this Strattos?
The shape of the frame is nice, right? I think it's basic looking. It's aerodynamic.
Smooth.
You can tell it's smooth. UCI approved frame set.
Yeah, you could
Right.
roll into the Tour de France.
You can.
If you
can
want.
you keep up? I don't know.
Maybe not for long.
And one thing I noticed is you get Ultegra.
Ultegra.
And let me tell you, after using Dura-Ace and Ultegra, the difference,
Not really.
there's no.
Ultegra's-
The difference is the price.
Yeah, price.
Big price difference. But when it comes to I guess, gains, when it comes to, are you enjoying it? Is it going to perform better? Value. I wouldn't justify Dura-Ace.
No.
I would go with Ultegra.
Gold standard.
Yep. 11 speed.
11 speed, same as 105.
Yep.
Functionally, very, very similar.
Mm-hmm.
But finishing, very different.
Yeah.
So looks really nice, good finishing, nice anodizing on the parts, good level with Ultegra.
And then you get, again, disc brakes,
Disc
standard
brakes.
now. When you get to this price range, you're any new bikes, you're not really going to find rim brakes.
Not anymore. No.
And wheel set.
Wheel set, same as
Same?
the other Strattos.
Yep.
So quality entity wheel set, plenty of spokes, quite durable, bit of depth on the rim for that aero gains. Big thing here, big cleaner,
Yeah.
cables going through the headset.
Which is a nice look.
It's a nice look, yeah. This is very popular now. It's most modern bikes, all Pro Tour level bikes. Cables are going through the headset.
Yeah.
Keep all the wind out of that front end, nice and smooth. Bit harder for servicing,
Yeah.
but aesthetics, road
It
cycling,
looks nice. And look,
looks good.
with the carbon frame, with the carbon forks, you can swap out handlebars.
Different handlebars.
If you wanted
wanna get
different
some gains.
handlebars to upgrade to carbon handlebars, you could,
Yep.
right?
Possibility go to a carbon seat post.
Yep, carbon seat post.
Bit more comfort, bit of weight off.
I would say this is my type of bike. It's light, it's going to be responsive because you get the carbon frame, right? It's going to be stiff,
You could upgrade it.
yes. And this is the holy grail of the Strattos range, right? If you're looking for something to perform well to race, you are conscious of weight, you want the most out of yourself in the bike, I would go with this bike, right? The top of the range Strattos. And that's the difference between all of them, really. You have fully carbon frame, the other two alloy frames, carbon forks, right? So the other is a little heavier, different frame material, and different group sets. So you have the Tiagra, which is the lower end, and then you have
Still works
really well. You have the 105, still works really well, and then you have Ultegra, and above this you would have Dura-Ace. And really, the difference between the two, I wouldn't justify it.
Not much. Not enough.
much.
Most of this bike, the real bare bones of this bike, what we would say is frame, fork, group set, you don't ever need to change. It's good for whatever you want to use it for. You might change wheels, tires, handlebar, seat post, but this is a great bike just out of the box.
Yeah, 100% agree. With that being said, I think I'm going to take this down and go for a ride.
Sure. See what it's like.
All right.
Welcome to new segment,
New segment,
the bike shop.
the bike shop. No challenge for today. And the bike shop, what is it all about?
So it's all about trying to hypothetically show what it would be like buying a bike, what you can get, what things are important to look at, how much things might be in kind of entry-level price ranges. But yeah, how you would sell a bike to someone.
Within a specific price range, because we all have a price range and we all want more than just a bike when we go shopping. I do. And we have a special
Guest.
Hello.
The man, the myth, the legend from the Worth It series.
The man, the myth, the legend, the jet-setting, sky flying.
This is Phil. We're each going to run through selling Phil a road bike, all the stuff that he needs.
Yep.
And then based on that, Phil's going to judge who sold it to him best and who he would first like to do a ride with.
So technically it is a challenge.
It is a challenge.
Who's going to win? Leave your
Who's a better
comments down below.
salesman? Yeah.
And do you want to see Phil in Lycra? That's the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smash the like button if you want to see Phil and Lycra. All right? All right. So
Okay.
should
You get out.
All right,
I'll sell to Phil.
here we go.
Okay. Thanks for joining us, Phil.
More than happy to come down here.
Okay, why are you looking to get a road bike?
So I do like mountain biking, but I just feel like sometimes it's hard to get out on the trails. So I just want to be able to something that I can just grab out of the garage
Bad
and just go
weather,
ride in.
anytime.
Anytime. Don't want to spend too much, but I just want to make sure I've got everything that I need if I go out for a ride. There's nothing left behind. So I want everything to get me going, and I want to spend around about $2,000. But main thing for me, not too fussed with weight or anything like that. Just
Function.
Just function completely.
The good thing is you're coming from mountain biking, so we don't need to bother with things like multi-tools, saddlebags, pumps, bottle cages. You might have all that stuff hanging around. I think I would go bottom of the range bike, because you're coming from mountain biking, anything with curvy handlebars is going to feel fast. It's not going to matter. But we want to make sure that you look good on the bike. So that's part of the road bike aesthetic. Here we have helmet with no peak.
Yep.
So a bit of a change, but it might be easier because you can wear those big sunglasses from your mountain biking.
yeah.
You don't need to worry about
Got my
not
pit
being able to
vipers.
see. Pit vipers, I mean, yes. Sure.
So just a standard helmet, no MIPS, nothing, just something lightweight.
Standard helmet
Yeah.
with a road biking helmet, because they're just round, no peak. Even the entry level ones look good. They're pretty simple, pretty straightforward. There's no technical feature, or not many technical features on a road bike helmet, so you don't need to worry too much about that one.
Yeah, I've tried these. These are actually really, really comfy. Like, it's probably one of the most comfortable.
Good helmet,
helmets.
I'd wear that, no problem. Bibs is the big one.
Yes.
So Lycra bibs, Lycra shorts with some padding inside. You might have these from mountain biking.
So mountain biking, I've only just got the shorts, so why would I go the full bib instead of just the shorts?
When you're on a road bike, half your body is leant over, so you're in more of a V shape, horizontal V.
Yeah.
If you have something around your waist, when you bend over, it can pinch. It can be
Okay.
pretty uncomfortable through that midsection.
Yeah.
So
And what about a little sunburn gap? I've seen
sunburn
that
up the back? I mean, that's pretty terrible.
just a little guy, just like
That's a real basic one. But when you go to the bib, where it comes up over your shoulders, all the pressure is put kind of on the top half.
Okay.
And as you bend over, it keeps them pulled up
Yeah.
so they don't fall down. I actually ride bib shorts on my mountain biking
Yeah, I
as
do
well.
like these pockets as well, because my shorts, obviously I've got normal pockets, but having another little pocket there that's skin tight, I could put some gels and
Put
stuff
your
like that.
phone, put some food in.
Yeah.
That helps a lot. So bibs are an essential that you
Yeah.
can use in mountain biking. So it's not 100% cost just on this bike. The shoes though, that's something pretty important and specific for road cycling. Mountain biking, you have a bit more movement in the feet. Road biking, you want to be fixed. Go into a shoe with a big cleat, stiff sole, good closure system on the top, keeps your knees in the same place. Now, if you're with an injury, maybe, road biking shoes will help keep you stable.
Yeah.
I would say you can get away if you're from mountain biking with your mountain biking shoes. So
Just more float and not as
yeah,
stiff.
not as good power transfer. So when
Yeah.
you stand up, get up out of a hill, you might feel a bit of slop through
Yeah.
your shoes. If you go to a road bike, you might be able to solve that, but not essential
Yeah.
from mountain biking for you. Maybe in the future, could be, but maybe not. Other thing we have is tires. Also maybe not essential for starting out mountain biking, but I think if you use a lot of your gear from that
Yeah.
to this, you've got a bike, you've got a helmet, and a set of bibs.
Yeah.
That's all you would
And
need.
I know it's not a big thing so much in mountain biking, but in that $2,000 budget, would it be worth factoring in something like a bike fit to make sure I'm comfortable?
No,
No. Okay.
I don't think so. You'd get it, as long as the bike's the right size, then ride the bike for 3 months.
Yeah.
After that, it might be fine. No pain in the knees, no problems. Then maybe you think about getting a bike fit, but
Yeah.
not essential.
Okay.
In that kind of price range, you're not going to get the benefit.
Yeah. So let's price everything up so far. What have we got? So the bike, how much does that cost around?
All of this
Yeah.
will come in definitely under
Under
that
budget.
$2,000. You'd
Okay.
have change,
Okay.
I think, from helmet, bibs, and a bike, which is all I think I would need to sell to Phil to get riding.
Yep.
easily under 2,000.
I think that's key because I'm coming from mountain biking. I do have a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if Devin thinks about
I
that.
think
when
he's going to try and sell you
Everything.
everything road cycling,
Yeah.
but I don't think you need it.
And
I
think-
reckon bibs, helmet.
Yeah. I mean, we've both worked in a bike shop, and one of the key things, like, you've got to be asking a lot of different questions to make sure what the people already have, what they don't, and stuff like that. So he gets it. So we'll see if Devin does. Okay, so I'm pretty impressed with what Peter came up with. So I'm intrigued to see what you come up with here.
I think Peter sold you the whole shop.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out.
All right, so your budget. Tell me about it.
So everything I told Peter. So I got around about $2,000 to
Yeah.
spend. So looking for just something to get into road biking. Main thing, just can't mountain bike all the time. Can't make it to the trails. So I'm just looking for a bike so I can get some miles in. Not too concerned about weight or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I need everything. I don't really have too much road specific stuff.
Yeah.
But I do have some stuff here and there. But we'll, I just need everything to get me going on a road bike.
All right, perfect. So budget, $2,000. Let's start off with a bike selection. You don't care about weight. You want something that's reliable. I would go with not the low-end Strattos. Reason being is it still has rim brakes.
Yes.
Right? So you're not going to be 100% confident when you're descending. You want to step it up to disc brakes. So that's what I'd go for. It does have the carbon fork, alloy frame, so you do get that good mixture between carbon and alloy. So it's not super heavy, but it's a reasonable bike. It's a good bike. You do get Shimano 105, which is great.
Yep.
Like Peter said, it's very functional. So that's the bike I would go for.
Okay.
Right. Next, I would pick equipment.
Yes.
Everyone needs a helmet.
Yes.
Do you need something super fancy? I don't think so, right? You want something that does the job. You don't want to look like a complete amateur, so you don't want to peak. Because in road biking, peaks don't exist, right? The only peak you're going to get is if you have a cycling cap underneath, and then peak down or up.
Yeah.
Up to you. That's a very controversial topic.
If you have to peak up, you can get more KOMs.
So, helmet, something basic
Yep.
that looks nice. Next, you need to get a good pair of bibs.
Yep.
Reason being is if you get something that you want to save the price on, it's not going to be great because you're going to compromise with the chamois quality, right? And get some chamois butter because if you're going, to the coffee shop
Yep.
and the coffee shop is 20 minutes away, you might need a bit of help, to reduce the friction.
Yep.
So I would get good pair of bibs. Next, I would get shoes. Shoes are somewhat preferential. So it depends really what you're looking for. Are you looking for something that is a bit more stylish, right? Has the laces? Or do you want something that you can use the BOA system, which just means it's kind of like a dial, which tightens the shoe and loosens the shoe. It's easier, right? This could be a hassle, right? You could have cold fingers and you're not going to want to do anything. So to be honest, if you're working within your budget, and you don't care about weight, you want something easy convenience, and you want something quick, I would go with a BOA system.
Okay.
Right, so I wouldn't go with the laces, but I personally like the look of the laces.
Okay.
Subjective.
Okay.
Next,
I pride myself on my fashion.
all right, so if that's the case, I would go with these.
Yeah,
right? I would then check if it has, a good carbon insole, something that's not super flexible, so you can get places quicker. Because we all like doing that.
I haven't felt these before compared to... So yeah, they are pretty stiff.
Actually, they are stiff, aren't they?
Yeah, they are pretty stiff. Interesting.
Next, I would go with clip-in pedals, right? It's subjective, but I personally think you can get from A to B quicker, and it's more enjoyable, and you feel more secure on the bike, especially when descending, right? So I think if you don't feel attached to the bike, you could easily slip off. Whereas if you're attached, you feel one with the bike.
Yeah.
I know that's very namaste, you feel one with the bike, but personally, I like the clip-in pedals.
Yeah.
Then get yourself a good tire, and I would go with 28s. Reason being is I wouldn't say off-road, but you're gonna get a bit more grip, and you can go maybe on some sketchier bike paths, right?
Well, I might be doing some jumps.
Because you might be doing, exactly, you might
curb
be
hops.
might be doing a little off-roading. So I would go with 28s, and these bikes do clear 28s,
Yes.
which is good. These would be the essentials.
Yeah.
On top of this, I would get a good cycling jersey. I would get gloves. Gloves is a big thing. Reason being is if you fall off, which you will. It's not a matter of if, it's when. You'll protect the palms of your hands. And I can't tell you how many times that I've saved the palms of my hands, right? So I'd get gloves, I would get a jersey, we got the helmet covered.
Yep.
And that will run you close to your budget. You'll be a bit under budget, you'll have some fun, you'll have the basic necessities. I'd get some chain lube, some bike wash, give your bike a bit of love, because no one likes riding a crusty old bike.
No.
I sure don't, even though sometimes I get lazy. And
If you love your bike, it will love you back.
and that would be my recommendation.
Okay.
I'm not going to sell you the whole shop because that's Peter's job.
Yeah.
So vote for me. And that's that. I mean, do you have any questions?
No. The one question I did have with Peter is like, should I factor in a bike fit into my purchase?
That's a tough one. What are you planning to do with your bike?
So I'd probably say I'm looking to ride it maybe once or twice a week and then mountain bike on the weekend.
No bike fit. Reason being is they can range usually from $100 to $300. They're quite pricey, sometimes even $500. And you can do a basic bike fit at home. There's some good YouTube videos, and I think we're going to create one in the future.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't get a bike fit.
Okay.
And any other questions?
No, I think that's it. So everyone's back here now, so it's time to pick a winner.
You're getting a road bike.
I'm getting a road bike. I'm excited, ready to strap the Lycra on, get some miles, maybe even get some KOMs. We'll see what happens. But
Not with his advice.
Who sold it to you best?
I think with the budget that I have, I'm going to have to go with Peter.
Oh.
Yes.
So
I
Peter-
knew you would sell him everything.
He thought he was selling everything.
I thought you were. All right.
So the reason I went with Peter, I think in that budget, I think the more affordable bike's probably going to be a better option. I'm not going to be absolutely smashing the descents because skinny tires scare me.
Not yet.
Not at the moment. I'll get there eventually. I'm not going to be, back up in Brisbane, there is a few hills, so maybe those disc brakes might be a good idea in the future.
You'll regret it.
We'll see what happens. But I think Peter did factor in that I did have a few things maybe around the house that might be able to help me. So maybe like a saddle bag, maybe some multi-tool and stuff like that, tire levers and whatnot.
Oh, that's a good one.
The one thing that no one said was a tube.
Oh.
Need a spare tube. So that was...
That's standard though.
Yeah, standard. And then the bottle cages and stuff like that I've already got for mountain biking as well. So that's why I went with.
And would you get bibs? Are you going to be riding around in bibs?
Yes, I'm definitely going to be going around with
Remember,
bibs.
no underwear on these bibs.
No.
Eh?
No underwear.
I don't know if
And I
Peter
don't wear
told
them
you that.
on my mountain bike short ones. I don't wear them either. So
There you go.
That's
Yeah.
good.
So what did Devon sell you?
Devin
I
sold me-
actually sold you things here.
Yeah, just
All
what was
this
here.
stuff.
Yeah, of course. Again.
So
Okay.
everyone should be well versed in that stuff at
Yeah.
the moment. But he did tell me the disc brakes, so the 105.
Okay.
So is it the S5, the Strattos S5 with
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
105 and rim brakes?
Yeah.
I was thinking that Phil's going to be coming back 2 years later saying, look, Peter, I've had a great time on my road bike. I want to get more into it. And I'd sell him a second bike.
I was going to do that, but then the carbon frame, the top end Strattos, right?
Okay. I was starting at the entry. I was going to sell him 3 bikes total in his life.
All right. All right, I admit defeat. But actually, leave a comment down below, and maybe I won't admit defeat. We'll see what the people have to say.
Yes.
Maybe the people want to spend more money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see. And that concludes the Bike Shed, where we talk about everything from how-tos to bike reviews. All the links will be in the description, as I say in every video. And that's
for
that.
watching.
Thank
See
you.
you next time.
See you next time.
I'll see you in the Worth It.